houses are cursed, not by witches, not by demons, but by something far more ancient and terrifying. Tonight, I'll take you into the Hollow Hotel, where once you check in, you may never leave. Sit back, relax, and listen closely, because this story might just keep you awake tonight. It was a cold and rainy night. The road was empty, except for one car driving slowly through the storm. Inside the car was David, a 32-year-old traveling photographer. He had been driving for hours, hoping to find a place to stay the night. His GPS showed no hotels for the next 50 miles. But suddenly, through the rain, he saw a small wooden sign on the side of the road. It read, "The Hollow Hotel, 1 mile ahead." David hesitated. He had never heard of this hotel before, but the storm was getting worse. He had no choice but to drive toward it. The hotel looked ancient. The wooden building had cracks on the walls, and the windows were covered in dirt. There were no cars in the parking lot, except for an old, rusted vehicle that looked like it hadn't moved in decades. David entered the lobby. It was dimly lit, with old chandeliers and a dusty front desk. Behind the desk stood a thin old man with pale skin and sunken eyes. His voice was slow and deep. "Old man, room 6. That's the only one available." David found it odd. The hotel had many rooms, but only one was available. Without questioning, he paid in cash and took the key. As he walked toward his room, the old man mumbled something under his breath. "Old man, never leave after midnight." David stopped. "What did you say?" The old man smiled creepily. "Enjoy your stay." Room 6 was cold and dark. The walls had old wallpaper peeling off, and the air smelled of dust and mold. The bed looked clean, but felt cold when David sat on it. There was a painting on the wall of a family. A man, a woman, and a little girl. But something was wrong. Their eyes were scratched out. Shrugging it off, David locked the door, pulled the curtains, and tried to sleep. Hours passed. The storm outside was loud, but inside was complete silence. Until 3:06 a.m. Knock, knock, knock. David's eyes shot open. The knock came from the closet. "Who's there?" David whispered. Silence. He walked to the closet and slowly opened it. Nothing but empty space and a few old hangers. Shaking his head, he closed the closet and went back to bed. Knock, knock, knock. This time, from the bathroom. David grabbed his phone and flashlight. Slowly, he opened the bathroom door. The light flickered, and he saw the same family from the painting standing in the shower, lifeless, blank-faced, and still. David gasped and slammed the door shut. His heart raced. "It's just my imagination," he said. But deep down, he knew something was wrong. He packed his bag, ready to leave. But when he opened his room door, the hallway was gone. Instead, there was nothing but darkness stretching endlessly. No exit, no staircase, just void. "Hello?" David shouted. His voice echoed, but no answer came. He slammed the door shut, hoping it was a dream. As David sat on the bed, his phone rang. The caller ID read, "Unknown." Hesitantly, he answered. "Caller, don't leave the room. They're waiting for you." David's blood turned cold. "Who is this?" The call disconnected. Suddenly, whispers filled the room. Soft, chilling voices. "Stay with us. Don't leave. You belong here now." David covered his ears, but the whispers grew louder. The bathroom door slowly creaked open, and the same family from the painting walked out, their heads twitching, smiling unnaturally. David screamed, grabbed his bag, and ran to the door. He banged on it, yelling, "Let me out." But the family got closer. Their faces now rotten and decayed, their eyes hollow, their mouths chanting, his rearview mirror. The family stood outside the hotel, watching him leave. But there was one problem. The old man from the front desk was sitting in David's back seat. David swerved the car in shock, but when he turned around, no one was there. Shaking, he drove until he reached a gas station. He stumbled inside, breathless, and told the clerk everything. The clerk's face turned pale. "Sir, that hotel burned down 30 years ago. No one has been there since." David showed the key. It was rusted with the label, "Room 6, welcome back." Panicked, David ran back to his car, but the back seat was now filled with rotting corpses, the same family from the painting. Days later, David's friends reported him missing. His car was found abandoned near the old hotel's ruins. There was no trace of David, but if you ever drive past the Hollow Hotel and you hear knocking at 3:06 a.m., do not open the door, because David never left the hotel, and now he's waiting for someone like you. If you enjoyed this horror story, don't forget to like,